There you go. Okay. It was just about combining the right doohickeys together. And we're all good. Yeah. So we're about to get trapped into a really long cutscene, but it is good to be back. Like I said, had to put the right doohickeys together so we could get to this door, but we got to put the evil ring on, and that's why at the very beginning of this I died. Oh yeah.
It has to be one of the most hilarious in-game deaths I've ever seen. And that's including when my brother and I were first playing The Last of Us, the very first game. And my brother just kept messing with one of the guards. And the guards just kept saying, yo, if you keep messing with me, I'm just going to shoot you. My brother was like, fuck that. And he got shot. So.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
It's actually really similar to like old school RPGs. Like even something like Fallout, where equipping a certain item, it might not be something that you immediately realize has an effect on the game, but they put that item there for a reason because they want you to. They want something to happen. It has a purpose. That was the evil ring. We also had to spend time purifying it first, which I think was to kill a bunch of enemies while wearing it, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong on that, go check the FAQ. The answer is in the FAQ. But yeah, now that it's been purified, you have to put it on in combination, in tandem with the blue necklace. So by the blue necklace, it kind of like cancels out the evil and she can wear it. I just find it so funny because it's one of those like RPG things where the character has 99999 damage and then they just die.
Alrighty, so we finally found one of the goddesses. She's trapped in this energy shield. How do we get her out of here, Mash?
I don't know.
Poor girl looks pretty sad.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out. Although I do kind of know because I played this before. You know what's really funny about this, Zero?
What?
This isn't even canon. So in Yeast's Origin, to kind of explain how this works, you play through Unica's story, and I think you also have to play the other story as well, and neither of those are canon. They decided to make it that the actual canon route is then a third playthrough that's unlocked. Which,
oh hell no,
just given how kind of long this game is a very bold move. And to this day, I don't think I don't remember if I finished the actual canon route. I'm not 100% sure. I probably did, but I don't remember. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. But anyway, we're gonna parse through this cutscene city a little bit because we want to get some gameplay.
No, for sure. And I just gotta vent a little bit about this shit. What is with writers and these fucking developers and sometimes anime and movie and show developers and shit, and making non-canon things and then confusing the entire population about like what is actually happening? Because that's just annoying.
Is there a specific thing that you're thinking of to say that?
So one thing that annoys me is Street Fighter, specifically Street Fighter Alpha. So the Alpha series, it's actually called Street Fighter Zero in Japan because it's supposed to be happening before Street Fighter 2, but possibly also after Street Fighter 1, which is confusing. So that's one thing. But what really annoys me is that apparently when it comes to Street Fighter Alpha 2 or 3, Street Fighter Alpha 2 is considered canon, while Street Fighter Alpha 3 is not. And as you know, and probably longtime fans of this channel will know, Alpha 3, for me, is the superior game. Like, it's just better. It also annoys me because in Street Fighter Alpha 2, it was shown that one of my favorite characters, Charlie Nash, had been killed. But he returns in Alpha 3 and actually completes his mission. And I'm just like, that's cool. This is a great ending. Only to find out it didn't actually happen. It's just not canon. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I just find that annoying.
Yeah, I don't like stuff like that either because it's kind of hard to. I know I've complained about this and even just on this channel before too, but I don't like when they do stuff like that with specifically with remakes where it's like, hey, this
Mm.
is a remake of an old game, but now the story isn't the same. And I'm like, at the very least, if you're gonna like change everything else about this game, literally everything else about this game, I don't care. But if you're gonna change the story, what even is the point of still calling it the same game? And I hate that because then if I'm talking with someone else who played a different version of the game, either the original or the remake, one of us played the remake, one of us played the original, we can't have a conversation now about that game anymore.
Mm. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with this. Is this in reference to like the Final Fantasy remake?
Well, Final Fantasy just got crazy because from what I understand, by the time it gets to Rebirth, Final Fantasy isn't even
Final Fantasy VII specifically.
by the time Final Fantasy VII Remake gets to Rebirth, it's not even really the same thing anymore. Now he's just kind of spitballing, or freeballing. But yeah, like the part that the first part of the 7 remake that I played, and also to an extent Resident Evil 2 was a remake. Those are two examples I saw where it was kind of like, man, they really just like jumble up the story, and I don't like it. There was this whole section that happened with Ada and Leon, which I guess was kind of cool if that was, originally how it was done, but it just seemed so unnecessary to make the story that way. And I remember in my play, because I live streamed it on Twitch, and I was sitting there and playing it and thinking to myself like, man, this is just kind of weird. And my one of the people in the chat just commented like, oh yeah, they like retconned the story in RE2 remake. I was like, god damn it. Like, why? But whatever. I mean, it's hard to justify these changes, but unfortunately we just have to accept that for whenever people make remakes, whenever there's going to be another chapter there's going to be another installment to a game, show, story, whatever, they're like pretty much always going to try to retcon things a little bit. I talked about it a couple of times, but I had checked out the Fallout series, which by this point probably, I don't know, maybe would have another season. I don't even know, but the Fallout series also just felt kind of like weird. It felt like some things, I don't know, just it didn't mesh well. It didn't make sense with Fallout in general. But so yeah, anyway, we're done with all this cutscene, and we're sorry that we kind of skipped through this. We just wanted to save a little bit of time because I knew this was going to be such a big cutscene. But basically, we find out the Black Pearl is evil. Unica gets knighted, and yeah, all sorts of cool anime shit happens. So we're going to move on and enjoy the ride.
Let's go!
I really do love this game. You ever have this feeling of like, wow, this game means a lot to me and I had fun with it, but because it's been so much time, I'm almost just completely new to this again, all over again. Do you experience that with any games?
Any adventure or RPG game, honestly. Because for any one of those sort of adventure or RPG or games like that, you have to know what you were doing before in order to continue.
Yeah.
So obviously, this being an action RPG, you're gonna deal with that sort of problem.
Of course. It's just hard. It's like a game that's kind of hard to come back to.
Yeah. Again, that's why, us being big smart boys, we should be writing down notes. But of course, we're really bad at doing that.
Nah, that's for squares.
Absolutely. No, we're pros. We're pro gamers.
We're cool, and we get lost because cool people get lost. So
absolutely.
That's what you have to look forward to here.
If you're not getting lost, you ain't cool. That's right, guys. So when you're going out on a road trip and you have no idea where you're going, don't stop and ask for directions. Be a man. Get lost.
That's a funny way to say. It's actually funny that you do say that because there's just a magical thing that happens on road trips where, yeah, you do get lost, and I don't know, you might, something interesting might happen while you're trying to find your way back. You might run into an interesting shop or meet someone cool or come across a, you know, very pretty landmark. You never know. You never know what may happen.
Or you might just get up to a bridge, don't know if you should cross it, and then a goblin comes out from under it, and then you have to answer riddles.
Oh yeah.
You guys never dealt with that?
Dude, I was at Colossal Con recently, and it was kind of a pretty rainy day. All of a sudden it got sunny, typical weather for the area, and I swear to God, we saw this rainbow like right maybe 50 feet away from us. I've never seen the actual end of a rainbow until that day. It was just right there.
Did you find did you find treasure?
Yeah, it was just a chest full of like anime stuff and booze because
Oh.
it's Colossal Con. So that was
okay.
it. Pack of cigarettes.
No, but dude, tell me and of course the audience, how was Colossal Con? Because obviously I didn't go with you this year. I wasn't really a big fan of it last time.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm happy to say that I think even you would, in your stodginess about the event, I think you would probably come around to a little bit more. They have made some additions, which definitely was enjoyable. But I just really like the event. It means a lot to me that there's something like that in the spot where it takes place. Colossal Con, for those of you that don't know, combines an anime convention with a water park resort. They do them all across the country in different locations called the Kalahari Water Park and Resorts. So the issue that Zero is experiencing really is just that feels like there isn't a lot to do, but that's really because the full draw isn't just the convention itself. There's kind of this expectation that people that go to this convention are really just kind of like chilling at the water park resort for most of the day. But then also in the in between times, you know, they want to go to panels, they want to go maybe see a concert, go buy some stuff at the artist alley, dealer's room, whatever. So it's not like as expansive as Comic-Con. It's not super expansive as, you know, big anime conventions are and stuff like that. But the truth is that, you know, it's kind of done that. It's kind of like that because it's not supposed to just be about the convention. Also, for what it's worth, all of the Kalaharis are in like pretty remote areas, so I think the expectation is that it's not going to be like a super high turnout event. Therefore, a lot of the anemones are a little bit smaller. But that whole mouthful being said, again, I'm on a lifelong mission to convert Zero over here. That mouthful being said, I think that they did a lot of good stuff to update the convention. The arcade was a little bit nicer because they had, I feel like they never had these before when we were at this specific Colossal Con, but they had the Japanese style candy cabs, you know, the head-to-heads. So you had Street Fighter games, Capcom versus SNK. I went on like an intense back and forth with a Prince cosplayer in Street Fighter 2, and it was a
Nice.
Vega mirror match. So I got him a couple times, and he got me a couple times. It was fun, but they had that. They had staples like Initial D, some dancing games, some rhythm, Japanese rhythm games. They also had Wangan, which made me happy because they never had that there before. Real quick though, I'm gonna shout out in the video with like a text overlay. Basically, I think part of it was they went to a specific vendor that maybe it's a new vendor this year, and they did some cool stuff. So I'll definitely put the name of the vendor because I made sure to write their name down. I'm always interested about the people that bring these kind of arcade experiences, you know, to conventions. Also, another thing they had is they had crane machines, like the Japanese style crane machines. Yep.
Those are always fun.
Those are a nightmare if you want to win. But yeah, it was a first ever for that particular con. So I like that they had that. Again, I attribute it largely to probably the vendor that they picked.
Hey man, that's what's up. I'm glad they're improving. Because I will say this: the first time you and I went, I had a good time. I still remember we went. I think it was the Super Guitar Bros. We just went in there and we just sat on the floor like we were in kindergarten, and they were playing music for us. And I'm just like, this is nice. And the dealer's room was nice. The arcade actually had games I could play and shit. So it's not like Colossal Con is always bad. It's just that when they make you waste your money and then waste your time and go out to this remote place and you got nothing to do, it just makes me go like, what the hell, guys? Like,
Yeah, well, to put into context for Zero's experience is that he's never gone to the water park portion of it, which is really
which is part of the draw. I know.
It's half the point of going to the convention. So that's why it kind of feels to you like it's you're kind of wasting your time. But again, and even I kind of felt that way because I didn't go to the water park this way. So I was like, next year I would like to. Next year, my plan is to get a room so that I could actually take advantage of going to the water park instead. But yeah, I'm telling you, like if you don't go to the water park, it's not that Colossal Con is bad, but you're gonna be let down because it's not gonna be the scale or scope of Comic-Con or some of the other bigger conventions that you have. So I feel like going in with that expectation really sets you up for disaster if you're not gonna actually go to the water park.
No, I hear you. Because, our situation when we would stay over there was different. Like, it made it a lot cheaper. That was the main draw. I'm like, oh, we can save money on this and go to a convention. This sounds great. So the idea of having to spend more than double just to stay at the fucking, resort and then maybe go into the water park, which, by the way, the first 2 times we went, certain world events made it a little bit iffy to do so. So, yeah.
For context, what Zero is talking about, we kind of had alternate plans for being able to stay to
Alternate
spend the
lodging,
night there.
let's just say that.
I don't want to get into too much detail, but yeah, we basically stayed off-site, and because of that, yeah, we got to save money. But here's the thing, though. I'm going to challenge that and say that that's not why we didn't go to the water park, because I think the second time we went, like, literally I was telling you, I'm like, dude, let's just go to the water park, but you didn't want to go, and I think I went. So it's not that we couldn't because of that. It was just your choice to not go.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I was trying to save cash,
Yeah.
and also, like I said, certain world events made me very iffy on that
Yeah.
shit because you can't really wear a mask while in a water park. That's kind of gross.
I'm just saying that you definitely don't need to stay at the resort to do the water park. It's just specifically for the one in Pennsylvania for Colossal Con East. It's definitely preferred just because it gets so cold there at night. But you could still do it. You could still do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a fantastic time, as I always do at Colossal Con East. I'm hoping, like I said, next year get some friends together. We'll get a nice big room, and we'll actually be able to go into the water park and get the full con experience and whatnot. But yeah, I also got to meet a voice actor by the name of Karen Strassman, who does voiceover work for 2 Persona games. And I got to get a sign. I got to get her autograph for my copy of Persona 3 Portable, which was great. She played Aigis. And then I got upsold because I saw this. I didn't know the full scope of her work, but I saw this. I saw this little rogue figure that they had, and it was like if you bought it, she'd sign it too. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? I'm kind of on vacation in a sense, so.
A 1-day vacation.
Went ahead and got that. Do not regret it one bit. If you guys want to check that out, we shared a picture of both of those on our Twitter. I'm going to get out of here before I get my ass kicked.
Did you also put it on our Discord?
I did. Yeah, I think I did also put it on our Discord.
Which, by the way,
usually
guys,
like
go join our Discord because we try to put in quite a bit of work to keep giving you guys content to come back to and see and stuff, especially memes, other videos we find interesting.
Gaming news deals, all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, all that shit. Anyways, since we're on the topic of conventions, this past summer, I also went to conventions.
Oh yeah, where'd you
Well, a
go?
convention. I went to Connecticon with a bunch
Whoa.
of our other friends. And yeah, once again, we stayed off site because it was cheaper. And I'm happy to say that this convention pretty much had everything you could ask for. If you guys are wrestling fans, they had cosplay wrestling. If you guys like playing arcade games or just video games in general, they had retro video games, modern video games, and arcade machines, especially those rhythm games that MASH enjoys. So they had all that. Bunch of cosplayers. They also had a bunch of voice actors there. I actually got one of my Digimon cards signed by the new voice actor for Tai from the Digimon reboot season. One second, because I'm forgetting his name. I know Zeno Robinson. There we go. Zeno Robinson. Shout out to him because he's an awesome guy. He also did the voice for DJ in Street Fighter 6, which is quite awesome. I had no idea he did that. I also wanted to meet the voice actors for Rika, but I decided against it because I had already spent quite a bit of cash. I bought
Oh
a
yeah.
bunch of stuff at the convention.
Those autographs do add up.
Yeah. So unfortunately I couldn't meet her. Maybe next time. But yeah, ended up getting a bunch of Digimon cards, bought some One Piece cards because my other friends like playing the One Piece card game. And yeah, tried some interesting food while out there. They had, what's it called? That French dish. No, that Canadian French dish. Poutine.
Oh wow.
There was a truck there selling poutine. They also had Jamaican food there.
How did you like it? I've never had poutine before.
Poutine was good. If you like potatoes and if you like cheese curds, they're good. It's basically fries, cheese curds, and gravy.
Nice.
And I can't lie, man. It's not good for you, but it's tasty.
Most convention food probably is not good for you.
Not at all. We also tried a barbecue place that was out there. I cannot remember the name of the place, so I'm not even gonna bother. But no, yeah. Also, they had random dance parties right outside the convention center. I remember it got a little late. It must have been like 8 o'clock, and people were all dressed up in their cosplays with glow sticks and stuff, playing music outside and dancing. It was cool. I didn't bother with any of the panels because I just couldn't find anything I cared about. But that's usually me at most conventions anyway.
Yeah, I felt that way about a lot of conventions too. My, my main thing really is lately just been concerts that they have there, because at conventions you'll get to see certain bands that you don't really get to see a lot of other places. Sometimes those bands go on tour, but I feel like you're more likely to just see them at a convention, and that's the place to do it. At Colossal, I got to see Bit Brigade, which was the first time they've ever been to this Colossal Con, at least. I don't know if they've been to others, but it was really good show. I was right up front, which was phenomenal. I'll actually be seeing Super Guitar Bros and Bit Brigade again in November. I'm on this tear where anytime Bit Brigade is like in the area, I'm trying to see them. I'm up to an all-time high of seeing one band in a year, and it's 3 so far. So in November, I'm going to see Bit Brigade for the 4th time this year, which is a lot. That's a lot.
Man, concerts were fun, and I can't lie, I also saw a band this past year, and it was with you.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we went to go see, damn it,
Aquabats.
Aquabats. There we go. I'm sorry, my brain's all mushy today. The Aquabats were fun as hell.
They sure were.
They really were. I kind of wish we were like more in the middle, but it was kind of packed in there, so I'm also kind of glad we weren't. But if you guys are into ska and you guys like silly songs, go look up the Aquabats, listen to a few of their tracks, especially pool party, pizza day.
The best day of the year.
Yeah, it's Shark Fighter, another favorite of mine. Which, by the way, they played all those songs. Super Rad, another good song. They're just fun. They're silly. They're fun. Their music is catchy. They're earworm worthy, and they not only do they throw water on the crowd while dancing and singing along and shit. They also bring along inflatable balloons in the shape of certain things. So like for pool party, it was blow up pool balloons. For pizza day, it was blow up pizza thingies.
Yep.
They had blow up sharks as well for Shark Fighter. And I'm just here thinking to myself, like, this is the first time I went to a concert and they do this kind of shit. This is really awesome. Holy crap. And their merch was pretty good too.
Oh yeah. Which, by the way, the I got to feature the shirt in an upcoming video. So thank you for that shirt.
Yes, it's a skateboarding Aquabat shirt, and I just saw it and I said I need one, and then I said Mash needs one. So still happy with that purchase.
100%.
I'm just trying to be careful with it because the material's thin, and usually for me thin material shrinks when you wash it, so I gotta let it air dry.
Well, I will say this, that opening of them like yelling sharks and coming out with a bunch of inflatable sharks that they threw in the crowd, that might have been one of the best openers to a show I've ever seen. Definitely the silliest and definitely one of the most fun. So phenomenal. And I saw Power Glove, a crazy speed metal band that does video game remixes. I saw them walk out to George Michael's Careless Whisper before blowing our faces off with their metal shredding. So I know a thing or two about silly concert openers, but yeah, that one takes the cake, I'm sorry to say. But yeah,
It's all good.
yeah, no, that was a really, really good show, and I'm glad that we got to go. But let's not forget, we also had MagFest too, so we got to both watch a bunch of bands at MagFest.
Yeah, you're right. The thing is, MagFest happens so early in the year. For me, it kind of feels like it was last year.
Yeah.
But no, it was this year.
Oh yeah, you forget about it. I'm glad that you're now part of the crew that goes every year and like also get to have that experience where it's like, yeah, oh yeah, MagFest, that was ages ago. What was that, 23? No, that was 2024. Oh, you're right, because it happens in January.
Whoop. Absolutely, man. And signups for MagFest are coming soon, so we better be ready for that shit.
Yeah, that's not the issue. I'm gonna give everyone the insider scoop as someone who's been going to MagFest for many, many, many years. Yeah, there's no issue with getting tickets. You know, you might go to. I know before the Great Big Panini, there was a lot of difficulty with getting tickets for PAX East. PAX East would like always sell out, and it was kind of annoying because it's like, you know, I want to go, I want to play the new games and all that stuff. So it was just frustrating that we couldn't get tickets sometimes. But yeah, with MagFest, it's never the tickets that sell out. It's the rooms, and specifically the rooms at the resort where the event takes place. That's the best place you want to be because you are out of the cold. You literally never have to leave. You could just spend all your time inside MagFest just having fun, and you don't have to step outside into the frigid tundra known as Maryland in January weather. But yeah, those sell out so fast. So you basically have to get lucky. There's a lottery that happens, and this lottery by the people, the cool kids, is sometimes known as the Hunger Games, the Hotel Hunger Games, because it's a struggle. Everybody wants the good hotel, and not a lot of us are gonna make it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's last year was a struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, the place we got wasn't horrible, I'm gonna be honest. Like
No, it
we
was
were
very
pretty.
nice.
Yeah, we did pretty good. Especially those free shuttle buses were a godsend. Um, but no, that first year we all went together, man. Oh, I still dream about that experience because it was just so good. It's something about not having to deal with the cold, getting up in the morning and just being like, hey, is that music outside? And just waking up to a Final Fantasy orchestra from your balcony. There's something about that, you know? It's just something about that is
Special.
it's just so good, so special.
Yeah, there's nowhere else I'd want to be than there and to experience that again. But just getting those hotels is so painfully difficult, and to have your whole weekend, the one time you get to experience it out of the year, to be determined based off of a random number that you get assigned is just so cruel. You know,
It really is.
a lot of people have talked about this, that, you know, where would they do it if MagFest could go somewhere else? You know, where should they go? And a lot of folks kind of like can't see it being anywhere else. In a sense, I agree. But the thing is that the event's gotten so much bigger than it used to be that at this point, I think they kind of need to find something bigger. But also that opens up a can of worms, because the truth is that they probably couldn't do it anywhere else, because that particular resort allows them to do 24-hour festivities, whereas most of the resorts probably wouldn't be cool with that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the only thing that would really work is if that resort got a huge expansion, but it's just, I don't think that's ever going to happen, you know?
Unfortunately, it's going to be a very difficult thing to pull off because, again, we're on the East Coast. East Coast is not known as the big coasts, you know? Like, our cities aren't that huge. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know how or where they'd be able to pull something like this off.
And maybe we'll find out how they will on the next episode of this playthrough, because we are done.
Indeed.
We are over time. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Once again, this was episode 19 of Ys Origin. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
That's right. Please make sure to smash the like button, mash the subscribe button, and let us know how you're liking it. Do you guys also like conventions? Do you guys like music concerts and shit? Let us know.
And as always, we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.